Hey, what's going on, my friends? In this video, I want to make sure you are familiar with the Paycheck Protection Program, the PPP. There's been a lot of talk about it. A lot of people know about the EIDL and the $10,000 grant. I feel like more, there are more entrepreneurs, there are more sole proprietors, freelancers, independent contractors that should be familiar with this particular program. So I thought this would be a great time, especially since our good people over at Bench, decided to kind of update this guide today. I thought this would be a great time to introduce you guys to it. Make sure you are familiar with it, because if you're part of the gig economy, if you work for TaskRabbit, for Uber, for Fiverr, for UpWork, for Instacart, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart, maybe you're doing your own thing around your town, your city. You are a mechanic, you are a fitness trainer, you are a hairstylist, you do computer work, you do marketing work, and you report your earnings and you pay taxes. You basically are going to be able to get some of this free business money. And, they just capped it. I think it's up to like the first round or the first draw is like 10 million. The second draw is like 2 million. You can get a lot of money if you do things the right way, which means shooting your shot. And, again, I'm going to go over the eligibility requirements, things like that. But like I said, the key thing is you have to be in a position where you've been, reporting your earnings and paying taxes, contributing, because essentially, it's like you've been chipping in towards these type of situations. It's like an assurance type of thing where, hey, this whole time you've been paying your taxes, you've been chipping in, paying your fair share. And now that, times are tough, this lockdown has hit us hard. And unfortunately, we can't really make the money that we were making before on our own, and it's at no fault of our own. So now we can kind of rely on what we've been shipping in towards, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. And, we're going to jump into this article. I mean, I'm going to kind of make chapters with this video, so you guys can check out the chapters and jump around if you want to as well, because I do want to make it easy for you guys to kind of look around and find what you're looking for specifically. But I would say your best bet is kind of just watching this video all the way through. If you want to fast forward it, or not fast forward, but speed it up a bit, feel free to do so. But I do think you guys want to listen to everything and make sure you don't miss anything, because there's a lot of free business money out there available for us, including this money with the PPP. And I do have a link down below where you can sign up through my personal partnership that I have with Womply, where they'll connect you with one of these lenders out here. There are dozens and dozens of lenders out here that are willing to work with you to help you with getting some of this free business money, especially if you are self-employed. Like I said, they made some changes here that affect us who are self-employed, and how much money we're able to get from this program now. It's a lot more than it was before, I will say that. So let's jump into this article, this guide, make sure everyone is up to date on this free business money, this grant, this $10,000 to $10 million or $2 million grant program. A lot of money out here, my friends. And before we do, if you haven't yet liked this video, definitely subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Want to make sure you don't miss any new videos coming out, including, I'll probably do a little Q&A video after this later on tonight that I'll release for you guys as well. But let's jump into this video. So what's updated for the second round of the PPP? If you did not receive a PPP loan in 2020, you may be eligible to apply for your first PPP loan in 2021. If you received a PPP loan in 2020, you may be eligible to apply for a second PPP loan if your business suffered a loss of revenue in 2020. Whether you now take your first or second PPP loan, these loans will have the same terms as the original Paycheck Protection Program loan. This means, like the first PPP loan, the second round of Paycheck Protection Program loans will also be fully forgivable if you follow the forgiveness guidelines. At least 60% of the loan must be spent on payroll and the rest spent on other eligible expenses. Again, at least 60%. So I mean, this to me sounds like it's implying you can say 100% is going towards payroll. Let's continue reading though. If the loan is not forgiven, these loans would have an interest rate of 1% and a term of 5 years. Loan payments are deferred for 10 months after the covered period ends or when you receive a forgiveness verdict, whichever comes first. Again, my friends, if you aren't able to get it forgiven for whatever reason, you only have a 1% interest rate on these loans, which again, you're not going to find that low of a interest rate pretty much anywhere. Go to your bank, go wherever, and look at your credit card. Yeah. So either way, it's not a bad deal if you are in a crunch, if you need the money. So who is eligible for a PPP loan in 2021? First draw Paycheck Protection Program loans. If the following statements apply to your business, you are eligible to apply for your first PPP loan in 2021. Your business was operational before February 15th, 2020. Your business is still open and operational. If you have no more than 500 employees, if your business has multiple locations, you have no more than 500 employees per location, current economic uncertainty has made a PPP loan necessary to sustain your business. Second draw PPP loans. If the following statements apply to your business, you are eligible to apply for your second PPP loan in 2021. You have used up your first PPP loan. Your business was operational before February 15th, 2020. Your business is still open and operational. You have no more than 300 employees. If your business has multiple locations, you have no more than 300 employees per location. You can show a 25% or greater reduction in gross revenue. Now, showing a 25% or greater reduction in revenue. A 25% or greater reduction can be shown in one of two ways: comparing your annual gross receipts as reported on your tax return between 2020 and 2019, or comparing your gross receipts in any quarter in 2020 with your gross revenue in the same quarter of 2019. So again, it's going to be a matter of your gross receipts, the whole thing, your total amount that you had brought in as a independent contractor, as a sole proprietor, as whatever it may be, and you'll compare your annual gross receipts from 2020 to 2019. Or you could do it by the quarter, meaning January, February, March is Q1. So you can do it by those first 3 months, or the next 3 months, or Q3 or Q4, compared to what it was in 2019. Again, there has to be a 25% reduction or more for you to be eligible in that sense. So gross receipts, again, is the total amount of money your business has received in a given period. It includes sales or products or services, interest, dividends, rents, royalties, fees, or commissions reduced by returns and allowances. For example, if your business wants to use the second quarter, Q2 of 2019, where they recorded $20,000 in gross receipts, they are eligible if their Q2 2020 gross revenue was $15,000 or less. So the PPP loan amount calculation. The PPP loan amount will be calculated very similarly to the original Paycheck Protection Program loan calculation. You are eligible for a loan equal to 2.5 times your average monthly payroll costs. Your average monthly payroll costs can be calculated using either of the following: the calendar year of 2020, the calendar year of 2019, the 1 year period before the loan application. These are some exceptions to the loan amount calculations for certain businesses. Food and accommodation businesses. Special consideration was given to the food and accommodation industries. Any business with a NAICS code beginning with 72 is eligible for greater loan amount. And I actually made a video that walks you through what is a NAICS code and how you can find your business's NAICS code, which I will include a link to that video down below. And it says businesses in these industries are eligible for a loan equal to 2.5 times your average monthly payroll costs. The average monthly payroll cost is calculated the same using the 1 year period before application, the calendar year of 2020, or the calendar year of 2019. For these businesses, you are eligible for 3.5 times your average monthly payroll cost for your second draw PPP loan only. So a nice little increase for these particular businesses. Seasonal businesses. To qualify as a seasonal business, you must satisfy one of the following criteria. You do not operate for more than 7 months in a calendar year. During the previous calendar year, your gross receipts for 6 of the 12 months were no more than 33.33% of your gross receipts from the remaining 6 months. So if you earn $100,000 from January through June, you earn no more than $33,330 from July through December. Seasonal businesses are eligible for loans equal to 2.5 times their average monthly payroll costs, but the average monthly payroll cost can be calculated using any 12-week period between February 15th, 2019 and February 15th, 2020. This is the same for businesses applying for their first and second PPP loan. Partnerships without payroll. Partnerships are eligible for 2.5 times their average monthly distributions. The average monthly distributions is calculated by taking their distributions from their 2019 and 2020 Schedule K1, multiplying it by 0.9235, and then dividing it by 12. Now, for all you guys out there that are sole proprietors, independent contractors, part of the gig economy, as of March 3rd, 2021, sole proprietors and independent contractors determine their PPP loan using their gross income. This is different from how it was before, my friends, so you definitely want to make sure you're listening and share this with other people that might think they got their first round. They might think they're up to date on everything. Make sure they know about this information here, especially this. If they are not running payroll, the calculation starts with their gross income as reported on line 7 on a 2019 and 2020 Schedule C form. Use either this number or $100,000, whichever is smaller. Divide this number by 12 and multiply it by 2.5 to find your PPP loan amount. If payroll is being run, take line 7 and subtract the payroll costs in lines 14, 19, and 26. Use a maximum of $100,000. Divide this number by 12 and add it to your average monthly payroll expense. Multiply by 2.5 to find your PPP loan amount. So I have a feeling a lot of you guys will be aligned with this first suggestion up here. So again, if you are an independent contractor, part of the gig economy and whatnot, and you're not using payroll, the calculation starts with your gross income as reported on line 7 on a 2019 or 2020 Schedule C form. So the Schedule C form, when you do your taxes and whatnot, on there, if you look at line number 7, you're going to use that number or $100,000 if you happen to be making bank. So if your line number 7 says $110,000, well, you have to use $100,000. And then you're going to divide that number by 12 and multiply it by 2.5. And that is how much money you will be able to get on your PPP loan. So the expansion of the PPP eligible expenses. For the first rollout of PPP loans in 2020, the eligible expenses included payroll, costs, rent, and utility expenses. The second stimulus bill has expanded on the eligible expenses you can use your Paycheck Protection Program loan for. And these new expenses include operations expenditures, any software, cloud computing, or other human resources and accounting needs. So, hey, this is a little different from how it was before. So it's important to know this because these changes will allow you to essentially kind of I don't want to say redevelop your business, but it's allowing you to restructure the way your business is working so it can be accommodated and work in these difficult times. So they're saying, hey, now we know that you need to have software and you can't necessarily be face to face with your accountant or someone else that you might have been working with before. So you can now use this money to invest in these different programs and software and computer cloud storage and stuff like that. That's going to allow your business to continue to thrive and move forward. So this part, again, really critical, important information that you guys need to know. Next on this list is property damage costs. Any costs from damages due to public disturbances occurring in 2020 and not covered by insurance can be covered by this money right here. Supplier costs. Any purchase order or orders of goods made prior to receiving a PPP loan essential to operations. In worker protection expenditures, any personal protection equipment or property improvements to remain COVID compliant from March 1st, 2020 onwards. These new eligible expenses now apply to all PPP loans, including those obtained prior to August 8th, 2020. So if you got a loan before and you still have it and you didn't get it forgiven, technically you can now use that money to be applied towards these other expenses. Really important and helpful information to know, my friends. Requesting an increase in your previous PPP loan amount. A request for an increase in your previous PPP loan amount is now available to some borrowers. It is open to businesses that did not take the full loan amount or returned a portion of their first loan, so long as they haven't already applied for forgiveness. This allows businesses to receive the difference between their original loan offer and what they ended up taking. For example, if a business was eligible for $20,000 but only took $15,000, they can apply to receive the $5,000 they previously opted not to take. And the application process may vary from lender to lender, so check in with the original PPP loan lender that you worked with for more information. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. Definitely give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I want you guys to be able to stay up to date on the latest videos that I release, whether it's about the PPP, the EIDL, or other programs that might be relevant for you guys as you continue to kind of build your business, your side hustle, your empire, and move forward. There are so many different programs out there like this that are giving out free business money. And again, if you're self-employed, a sole proprietor, independent contractor, freelancer, you could potentially qualify for these programs and have a shot to win some of this free business money, some of these grants and forgivable loans. But you have to shoot your shot. You will not get anything if you don't try. And of course, I'm not saying, if you're definitely not going to be eligible for these things, and I'm not saying commit fraud or anything of the sort, but I am saying, hey, if you're out there and you work your butt off, you're part of the gig economy, you work for Uber, you do DoorDash or whatever, you should absolutely be out here applying to these different programs and trying to get some of this free business money. So on that note, my friends, I hope you guys found this video helpful. As I said, it's a lot of money out here. This is just one of the big programs that have been rolled out. I think they may potentially extend this. They haven't officially done it. And I think right now, currently, the deadline for this is the end of this month. They're pushing to have it pushed out, but it hasn't been implemented yet. So I wanted to make this video, with another few days, 5 days, 6 days left, to make sure, hey, people know about this, shooting their shots, you're trying to get some of this money, and and getting it, because I've received some. I know of other people who have received some from this program, from the EIDL, and in local programs as well. So I'll have links down below in the description area to some of these other programs and some other videos that I've created that will be helpful for you guys as well. And like I said, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and you already know, I got to keep it moving, keep it grooving. I'm going to be releasing another video on some of the top Q&A, top 9 questions and answers that are probably going to be relevant for this. So look out for that video later on tonight as well. All right, guys. Now I got to keep it moving. But you already know. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.